Imagine growing up in a world where tradition is everything, where your community lives by centuries-old rules, and where being different can mean losing everything you've ever known. This is the reality for Amish kids who come out as gay or lesbian. Today, we're exploring what happens next. How do Amish parents respond? And what does it mean for these kids to live authentically in a culture that often rejects who they are? The Amish way of life is built on faith, family, and community. Their beliefs are rooted in a literal interpretation of the Bible, which often leads to conservative views on sexuality. For many Amish parents, having a gay child is seen as a challenge to their faith and their way of life. But what happens when a child comes out? The answers are as complex as they are heartbreaking. In many cases, the response is rejection. Shunning, a practice where the community cuts off all contact with someone who has strayed from their beliefs, is a common consequence. For Amish kids who come out as gay or lesbian, this can mean losing not just their family, but their entire support system. They're forced to choose between living authentically and staying in the only world they've ever known. Stories from former Amish individuals reveal the pain of this choice. Many describe feeling isolated, misunderstood, and even betrayed by their families. One young man shared that when he came out to his parents, they told him he had to leave the community and never return. Another woman recalled how her mother cried for days, saying she was worried about her daughter's soul. These stories are not uncommon, and they highlight the deep conflict between faith and love. But not all stories end in rejection. Some Amish parents struggle to reconcile their faith with their love for their child, leading to emotional and often private journeys of acceptance. One mother, after initially struggling with her son's coming out, ultimately chose to support him. She said, "He's my child, and I love him. I couldn't turn my back on him." Stories like this remind us that love can transcend even the deepest traditions. Today, organizations like Born Perfect and Bridging the Gap are working to support LGBTQ+ Amish youth, helping them navigate the challenges of coming out and finding acceptance, whether within their communities or in the wider world. These groups provide a lifeline for those who feel isolated, offering resources, community, and hope. The story of Amish kids coming out as gay or lesbian is one of courage, resilience, and the enduring power of love. It's a reminder that even in the most traditional communities, change is possible, and that every person deserves to live authentically. When Amish kids come out as gay or lesbian, their experiences can vary widely depending on their families, communities, and individual circumstances. However, many face significant challenges due to the conservative nature of Amish culture, which is deeply rooted in traditional religious beliefs. Here's a closer look at what often happens to these young people. 1. Initial reactions from families and communities. Shock and disbelief. Many Amish parents struggle to accept their child's sexual orientation as it conflicts with their religious teachings. Homosexuality is often viewed as a sin, and some parents may initially deny or dismiss their child's identity. Pressure to conform. In some cases, parents or church leaders may urge the child to suppress their feelings, pray for change, or even undergo counseling to correct their behavior. Emotional turmoil. The child may face guilt, shame, or fear of rejection, knowing that their identity could disrupt their family and community ties. When Amish kids come out as gay or lesbian, their experiences can vary widely depending on their families, communities, and individual circumstances. However, many face significant challenges due to the conservative nature of Amish culture, which is deeply rooted in traditional religious beliefs. Here's a closer look at what often happens to these young people. 1. Initial reactions from families and communities. Shock and disbelief. Many Amish parents struggle to accept their child's sexual orientation as it conflicts with their religious teachings. Homosexuality is often viewed as a sin, and some parents may initially deny or dismiss their child's identity. Pressure To conform. In some cases, parents or church leaders may urge the child to suppress their feelings, pray for change, or even undergo counseling to correct their behavior. Emotional turmoil. The child may face guilt, shame, or fear of rejection, knowing that their identity could disrupt their family and community ties. 2. Shunning or banishment. The practice of shunning. In more conservative Amish communities, shunning, Meidung, is a formal practice used to enforce conformity. If a person is seen as straying from the church's teachings, including by being openly gay, they may be shunned. This means the community, and sometimes even their own family, will cut off all social and emotional contact with them. Forced to leave. Some Amish youth are given an ultimatum: stay in the community and live by its rules, or leave and never return. For those who choose to live openly as LGBTQ+, this often means leaving the only life they've ever known. Loss of support. Banishment can mean losing access to family, friends, and the close-knit community that has been their entire world. This can be emotionally devastating and leave them feeling isolated. 3. Life after leaving the Amish community. Starting over. Many former Amish LGBTQ+ individuals must navigate an entirely unfamiliar world. They often lack formal education, technological skills, and knowledge of modern society, making the transition incredibly challenging. Finding new communities. Some seek out support groups, LGBTQ+ organizations, or networks of other former Amish individuals. These communities can provide emotional support, resources, and a sense of belonging. Struggles with identity. After leaving, many grapple with reconciling their Amish upbringing with their LGBTQ+ identity. They may face internalized shame or confusion as they work to build a new life. Financial and emotional hardship. Without a support system, some struggle to find housing, employment, or access to health care. The emotional toll of being cut off from their families can also lead to mental health challenges like depression or anxiety. 4th, stories of resilience and hope. Parental acceptance. While rare, some Amish parents choose to prioritize their love for their child over strict religious doctrine. These families may quietly support their LGBTQ+ child, even if they don't openly acknowledge their identity within the community. Building new lives. Many former Amish LGBTQ+ individuals go on to build fulfilling lives outside the community. They pursue education, careers, and relationships, often finding strength in their ability to live authentically. Advocacy and support. Organizations like Bridging the Gap and Born Perfect work to support former Amish LGBTQ+ individuals, offering resources, counseling, and connections to others who have shared similar experiences. 5. The broader impact. Cultural shifts. While change is slow, some Amish communities are beginning to grapple with issues of sexuality and identity. Younger generations, in particular, may be more open to questioning traditional beliefs. A call for understanding. The experiences of Amish LGBTQ+ youth highlight the need for greater compassion and dialogue within conservative religious communities. Their stories remind us of the importance of balancing tradition with love and acceptance. For Amish kids who come out as gay or lesbian, the journey is often fraught with challenges. Many face rejection, shunning, and the daunting task of starting over in an unfamiliar world. Yet their stories are also ones of resilience, courage, and the pursuit of authenticity. While the road ahead may be difficult, many find hope, community, and a sense of belonging outside the confines of their upbringing. Their experiences serve as a powerful reminder that love and acceptance are universal needs, and that everyone deserves the chance to live as their true selves. What would you do if you or your child was gay or lesbian and you were part of the Amish community? Let us know in the comments below.